Hello and welcome to day 3 of the Field of 68 road trip. We are live here in Louisville at the Louisville basketball practice facility. Rob Doster. I got Jeff Goodman with me, and we are honored to be joined by Louisville head coach Pat Kelsey. Kelsey, it's great to see you, man. We appreciate you opening up the doors to this facility, allowing us to come in here while your guys are working out, allowing us to hang out with you. You guys were just back in Charleston.
We just were. I got to make sure I correct you a little bit because I got to give a shout. Look at that. I never seen you look better.
Yeah.
So it's Planet Fitness Kieber Center.
Planet Fitness Kieber Center.
So I got to make sure we say it correctly because my guy Rick.
That's the new name?
Yeah, my guy Rick.
When did that change?
It's been that way for a couple years.
I haven't been in here.
You know Rick
for a
Kieber?
while. No.
Oh man.
But I was here plenty of times.
I just want to make sure he got a shout out.
Yeah,
you called it the correct building.
I've been here plenty of times.
He helped build the building.
When Rick
the building, you
Pitino,
better get a shout out.
when Rick Pitino was taking his guys and making them run over here to do some extra running when they would screw up. Do you do that at all?
One thing I will say is, like, when you mentioned that was Coach Pitino's office and he used to coach off that balcony, and the fact that that's my office and I'm up there every day, it's pretty cool.
A little humbling?
It's a little humbling, and it's great to see you guys too. It just reminds me basketball season is here. So welcome to the
Your
Ville.
office right now is bigger than the first apartment that I lived in when I graduated college.
Well, I've had a few smaller offices. Let's say at Old Winthrop, a special place in my heart, the office was not that size. So I think you saw when we went up there, because when music's playing and the ball's bouncing, it's loud, and my adult ADD kicks in, and I can't concentrate. So I actually...
We'll tweet out a picture of where Kels does most of his work.
Do you want to describe it?
I mean,
Basically
it's
a closet.
it's got a bed, a desk, and nothing else in there. I mean,
You take naps in there too?
It's dark. It's like a dark place in a way, and you spend a lot of your time there. I don't know how. Maybe that's how you walk out with so much energy.
Yeah.
I've never seen. I will say this: in all my years, I've said this before. In all my years of covering, and I've covered every sport, pretty much at almost every level, I have never seen a coach with more consistent energy than Pat Kelsey. Ever.
So I just turned a big 5-0 a couple weeks ago. So
way to join the club. It's a shitty club.
I threw out the first pitch of the Cincinnati Reds game on my birthday, which was like the honor of a lifetime.
A strike?
Terry Francona, before I walked out, he goes, "Don't throw it short." And I threw it in the dirt. Yeah, it was a bullpen catcher that sort of like framed it and made me look good. But big moment in my life, came up a little short.
Francona's the best.
But going back to the energy, I'm hoping that it can continue as I get older and older. But that's kind of who I am.
But it worked for here. Like, that's the great thing. You were the perfect hire for Louisville, especially at the time you took over. Did you realize that at the time?
Well, it's funny, you were talking about some of your conversations that you had with Josh during the process. I know you know him really well. He's the best AD in the country and one of the most respected guys in collegiate sports anywhere in America. And he knew what he was getting because you sent him some videos of some of my theatrics in the locker room, and I told you not to.
You wouldn't let me tweet.
But you sent it anyway. But I think you know me well enough, Good. You've known me forever and ever. Rob, we've gotten to know each other over the last couple of years. That's just who I am. And, it seemed like the city needed a little bit of an injection of energy. We had a tough couple of years here, and this is such a proud basketball program, such a proud basketball city. I give the Revival team such a tip of the cap, and that's the Chucky Hepburns and the Fat Edwards and all those guys that had the remarkable season last year to really rejuvenate this city. I think I had a little something to do with it. But you feels like the Ville's rolling again. It's fun to be in town.
You got a couple of those Revival guys back, and Javon Hadley and Cason Pryor, who, I guess is going to be healthy here. We'll ask you about him in a second. But you've been able to kind of work out some of these guys. You've had them here for a couple of months. You guys just did a training camp down in Charleston. What is your overall impressions of what the second year of the Pat Kelsey era in the
Well, you mentioned the Revival guys, and I think that group's going to be known as the Revival guys forever. I like to be a little bit of a marketing guy. We came up with
the Our City
that word last year, and I think if you ask our fan base 20 years from now and you say the Revival team, they'll remember that team. Fell short, obviously, in the postseason, but Chucky Hepburn stepping off the floor and kissing the Cardinal head at half court on senior day. I mean, there's fans that talk about that when I meet them in the community. And they say that's one of the most special moments in their Louisville basketball fan career, if you will. But it's great to have a core group of guys from that team back. Obviously Ali Khalifa and Kobe Rogers were both red shirts last year, but huge culture guys for us. Javon Hadley is back. Kenai Ruths is back. Kason Pryor is back. So we feel like we're starting way ahead this year versus starting from scratch with the entire team last year, with the exception of Rain and James and Kobe. And so it's good. They can kind of tell the guys what PK is all about and kind of grab them on the side after PK and kind of let them know what that means. They translate a little bit. And then this influx of talent and character that's come in. And we think it's the perfect recipe. We're really, really excited. And we have huge aspirations for this team.
Obviously, you had the resources to be able to put together a team. But there are other teams that had resources that I don't think did as good a job as you did in the portals. Why do you think you were able to do this? I think part of it was timing. You went early. And, man, did you get a bunch of dudes that they've already done it at a high enough level. They're proven at a high level, other than maybe Adrian Woolley, who did it at Kennesaw State. You got Ryan Conwell, who's done it. McNeely, done it at a high level. Obviously, you bring in Mikal Brown. Your perimeter, I think, is as good as any in the entire country. I mean, Mikal Brown, listen, I can't say enough good things about him. I spent some time with him a month ago. I can't wait to see him again here because, honestly, talking to him is like talking to – it's way better than talking to Dawson. Way better. More mature, smarter, well-spoken, all of it.
None of those things are a very high bar to clear.
They don't apply to you. But again, what you were able to do, even do you look back and say, like, I'm surprised that my staff and I were able to put together this team?
Well, I think it starts with my staff. Brian's been with me forever and ever, Brian Cloman. Mike Cassidy, Thomas Carr, Ronnie Hamilton, Peyton Siva with us now. But then our kind of like player acquisition team, right? Our department, if you will. And I could name a bunch of people that believe in what we believe in, study our metrics, know what we're looking for, identify the guys that really, really fit. And then we act, and then we jumped on it. You mentioned resources, how important that is. Our administration, starting with Dr. Bradley, the leadership we get from Josh Hurd, they know how important it is for men's basketball to be really, really good here, and they put the wind at our back and allow us to have the bullets to go out and compete. And it takes some luck, too. You look at like a guy like Ali Khalifa, who obviously was coming off a very, very serious knee injury. He had some eligibility issues that we had to file a waiver for, so that was up in the air. And to be able to get a guy like that has been huge for us. And then, to get a waiver wire acquisition in Kason Pryor, maybe a month and a half, whatever it is into the season, or who knows how quickly, it just really worked out. But I feel like I have the best staff in the country. I think, you put every head coach up here and they would say the exact same thing.
No, but I've been around these guys a lot, and I'm not disputing that at all. Again, Coleman, especially in the new position that you've put him in,
yeah,
I've said to you, and like nobody has more ideas than Brian Coleman.
It's just like,
and he works his ass off.
It's just like Rob makes you look really smart, which is really hard to do. Cloman and all those guys, Ronnie Thomas, they do the same thing for me. But yeah, Brian is worldwide. Brian, he's as creative and forward thinking as anybody in the country, and he's my guy.
So one of the things that a typical Pat Kelsey team has is like 9, 10, 11 guys in the rotation, right? And I'm looking at your roster now, and there's probably 8 or 9 players where I could make an argument to myself looking
10.
at it.
I think you can go 10.
10, well, they could be starters, right? Yeah. So when you play that deep and you play that many guys and you have that many people competing for those starting spots, we all know how important it is to be a starter, right? There's a level of prestige that comes with that. How do you navigate dealing with egos, dealing with players that maybe are in a different role than they wanted to be, especially when you're bringing these guys in from the outside in a year?
Yeah, there's a lot there in the question that you just asked. You said 9, you said 10, a lot. You need depth. It's a long season. It's a grind. It's a beatdown. Last year we thought we had a lot of depth, and then we had about 400 guys go down with injuries. And this year, we think one of the strengths of our team is our depth as well. How all that plays out is what happens every day from 3 o'clock, 6 o'clock in practice. We hang our hat on. Huge word in our program is competing. That theme of competition permeates everything in our organization, and it sort of plays itself out as you move forward. We like to play a lot of guys. We like to wear teams down with our pace, with our relentlessness, with our offensive rebounding, and roles will be defined as we move forward. But it starts with how do you deal with all that? It's you recruit the right type of guys that are about winning, right? And we teach culture and we sell culture every single day, like all programs do in the country. But it's all about what we call the power of the unit.
The fact that you were able to get a kid like Mikel Brown after 1 year here. Again, you got resources, but he could have gotten that.
It wasn't even
a
1
lot
year.
of other
He
places.
submitted in January, right?
Right. I mean, it's kind of crazy that you were able to do it. Why can he be? And I don't want to put too much on him, but he's going to be a guy that's got the ball in his hands a lot as a freshman, with a lot on his shoulders from this city. Why can he be a program-defining player for the Louisville Cardinals?
Yeah, man, I love that you asked that question. We signed Mikel in January after just being here 6 months, before we had even proven ourselves, right? I give his camp, I give his mom, I give his dad, I give him credit for knowing, seeing what we got going on here, seeing how we do things, seeing the success that we've had in the past at the various stops we've had, seeing the success of our players and the development of our players, and they said, that's it. That's what we want for our son. I mean, he's a lottery pick potential guy, and we proved him right. By how the year progressed, January is when he commits. We didn't get the thing really, really rolling until January, February. And then they look really, really smart. So when I first got the job here, Josh Hurd made the same leap of faith with me, coming from the mid-major level, never coached at the Power 5 level, and he said, that's my guy. And, I work hard every single day to prove him right and to make him proud. And, Mikel picked point guard U. Mm-hmm. In my opinion, he picked point guard U. Now,
wait, you're taking that away from Lute Olson in Arizona back in the day.
Yeah.
You're stealing it.
I mean, coaching's all about stealing things, stealing ideas, and what the heck. With all due respect to Coach Olson, one of the greatest in the history of the game, I think in the modern basketball era, Louisville was point guard U.
What makes this kid special, Pat?
His makeup. And I think it starts with the way he was raised with his mom and dad. He's as humble of a superstar / 5-star / decorated player as you're going to find anywhere. He doesn't carry himself like he's any better than anybody else. He works, he knows that in that locker room, he's still a freshman. And he, I don't want to say defers, but he understands that the older guys and the seniors, and he knows his place a little bit. But gosh darn. Is he a dog, and is he a competitor, and does he want to be great? What makes him special? His makeup. It's like Coach CP years and years ago, and he just had that it about him. He was, I always said Chris was like Mozart. He just had that natural born feel and IQ for the game of basketball, and you see a lot of those same attributes with Mikel. Yeah, special young man, special player, but it's the makeup and the caliber of human being he is that makes him great.
You just mentioned Chris Paul, right? I was talking to your assistant, Mike Cassidy, and asking him for a comparison on Mikel, and he said there's a little Tyrese Halliburton in there, named a couple of other guys. Give me a comp. Who is he going to play like? Who is he a player that kind of reminds you of him?
Who gave you that comp of Halliburton?
Mike Cassidy.
Oh, Cass did? Yeah, I think there's some of that. I mean, it's unfair for anybody coming in to say I mentioned the word Chris Paul, man. Come on. Let's let him be the first Mikel Brown Jr. versus saying he's the next Tyrese Halliburton or the next Steph Curry. I mean, he's a scoring point guard. Right? I mean, obviously, he can make all the passes. He can make all the reads. He has an advanced basketball mind. As I mentioned, he's a prodigy for his age. But, man, can he put the ball in the basket? And I think from the point guard position, I think a major separator from his, because, yes, he can do all that stuff, read all the pick and rolls, but, man, he can shoot it in. When you look at a point guard like Steph Curry, one of his true gifts is his ability to stretch the floor in amazing ways and shoot with amazing range, and that's one of the things that makes him great.
So we know the perimeter's loaded. Again, Conwell, McNeely, Woolley, and Mikel Brown. The front court was kind of the question mark, right? I mean, we just don't know these guys. The last time we saw Ali Khalifa, he was, still picking teams apart offensively, but he slimmed down, and we can't wait to see him later in the show. You got a kid, Sananda Fru, from Germany, from Berlin, who's super talented. And you got another kid from Greece. I'm going to try to pronounce. I'm not even going to try to pronounce his name.
Let's call him Sioux.
All right, Sioux. Big Sioux, who you love because he's your type of player. You're not concerned at all about the front court. Really, you love it.
Love it.
You've been raving about this front court because they're all different at the 5.
Yep. And, let me say this real quick, because you're going to interview elite guards, and we have elite guards. You're going to interview McNeely, stud. Woolley, stud kid, stud character, stud player, Ryan Conwell, Mikel Brown Jr. Kobe Rogers is a hell of a leader for us now, man. Kobe Rogers
has been with you for a while.
He's been with me, and he is a winner and a big part of what we built here, and he's going to have a significant role on this year's team. But everybody talks so much about our backcourt. I don't think our front court gets enough credit. Down the road, whenever he's ready, obviously we all know Kason Pryor, who is a defensive dynamo, disruptor, very, very good all-around player. Javon Hadley is, you can't really even call him a front court guy. I think he's just one of those positionless type guys. He's a freaking basketball player who is a winner and tough as heck. When you talk about our bigs, our hubs, you look at those 3 guys. Sananda Fru has played 3 years professionally in Germany in the highest German league, which is crazy now. Guys can play professionally for 3 years, then come play college basketball.
Hey, if that had happened before, they'd be suspended for 3 out of the 4 years.
Which is really cool. He's in his freshman year in college, but he's a grizzly veteran, big, strong, physical, with skill. You mentioned Evangelos Zougris, who at one point this year will probably slice his head open like a WWE wrestler back in the day, Jim the Anvil Neidhart, and there's going to be blood streaming down that kid's face, and he's going to do a freaking primal scream at the Yum Center, and the place is going to go ballistic. And then, Ali Khalifa, who, in my opinion, is one of the top 5 passing bigs on planet Earth at any level. And they take pride in being that 3-headed monster, right? And they're all different, a lot of different ways. They could slide, because of the way they're constructed and their makeup, they could slide and play some 5 and some 4 together. But I can't be more excited about all 3 of those guys than I am.
So we got some mean tweets we're going to have you read here in 1 second. But before we do, behind us we have 3 national championship trophies, right? Which is awesome, something you got to do. You got to recognize Louisville, the tradition, the program, the excellence there. But there's also one right over here, right behind you, that says the Manager Games Champions 2025. I know the way you run your program. I know how important all those guys are to you. Just talk to me a little bit about what it means to have those group of guys and give them their shine.
Man, I'm so glad you brought them up, because those guys don't get any shine. They don't get social media. They don't get any of that.
Well, I was told they got called out at the football game on Saturday.
They did. And here's the caliber of human beings that those guys are. They took my son out with them. Like my son's a 7th grade kid. He leaves school every day, comes out here, and he's got 30 big brothers that love him up, pour into him every day. How lucky am I? Those dudes won the national championship at the Final Four, our GAs and our managers. Hire any one of them and thank me later. Just unbelievable part of our heartbeat and who we are. And then those national championship trophies, just like I said, Louisville is point guard U. And the Brown family saw it and identified it and went all in. And we've proven them right, and we'll continue to prove them right. It's one of the most storied and tradition-rich programs in the history of college basketball.
You know what the most shocking thing about this interview is? That Kelsey is in such good spirits, even after Joe Burrow got hurt yesterday.
I mean, Joe Burrow is a huge sports fan. There is an outside chance, I don't know if it's 1%, 0.5%, that he's actually watching this? Probably not. He's
We'll get
probably
it to him.
preparing for 3 months down the road for the December 20th game he's going to play and already watching tape of the Titans or wherever the crap it is. But, man, Joey, I love you. I'm thinking about you. Cincinnati's in mourning today, but we'll bounce back.
All right, we're going to finish off with mean tweets,
Yeah,
right?
mean tweets.
We started
Mean
this with
tweets.
Matt Painter the other day. We didn't make Darren DeVries do it because he's a new coach in Indiana. But you've been here a year. We're gonna let you take a look at the monitor, and as they come up, I want you to read these tweets. All right, here we go from George.
From George, Big Barrel George, that's his handle. Pat Kelsey's biggest fear is the height requirement sign at amusement parks. Ba-dunk.
Pretty good.
That's pretty good.
I like it.
That's pretty good. I do glance at it. I do glance
Did you
at it.
make it easy, or is it sometimes a little close? Roller coaster.
Nah, I mean, I would say my freshman year in high school is when I finally really passed that. I was hanging on the bar like Peter Brady, Bobby Brady, trying to grow to 6 foot. That was my goal. I had a goal of 6 foot. Didn't get there.
It's okay.
Yeah.
All right, next one.
Oh, this is from Tonio Insane, at Tonio_insane. Are Pat Kelsey and Travis Kelsey related? Because they're both really stupid.
These are good.
Did he? I think he spelled Kelsey on Travis Kelsey wrong.
It's okay. We won't get into semantics there.
Yeah. Hey.
All right, we got a couple more. Here. Here we go.
Hey, this one's got to be good. UK Hoops 840 at Kentucky Hoops 840. Get ready for this one. UK will be Pat Kelsey's daddy now and forever. Hope he gets used to it.
You're doing well.
Yeah,
You're doing well. I mean,
Hey, thanks.
you like these so far?
Yeah. This is awesome. Let's freaking go. Let's do some
You
more.
came here for, right?
Yeah,
All
let's
right.
do it.
All right. Here we go.
Kyle D at Kyle Doctor. Fire Pat Kelsey. Seriously, he won't ever win a big game. Is this like back in like high school? My ex-girlfriend's parents.
I'm told we have another good one coming.
This is a good one.
All
right
right.
here.
We'll see what we got here.
All right, from Jeff Goodman. This has got to be some Yahoo. At Goodman Hoops. Man, Winthrop coach Pat Kelsey plays more dudes than anyone I've ever seen. Just subbed in 4 guys with 18:07 left in the first half. Crazy. That dude will never make it to the Power 5.
Remember that?
Yeah.
You remember that
Yeah,
game?
I remember that. Yeah. That was Dave Davis. That was the substitution
That's right.
magician.
That's right.
My guy, the legend Dave Davis.
Good assistant,
Yeah.
right? Really good.
Stud.
Well, listen, Kels, it's great to see you.